is another happy hour podcast. This was fun. Jeanne and Sam and I had a little bit of wine and a lot of fun. It was really fun. So I hope you have fun too. I am drinking Ibarra by my friend Karen again, and she's offering 20% off again. I don't get any money from this. She's not a sponsor. I'm just drinking her wine, and I thought she's a small business. She's a single woman who owns a winery, and she's Latino. So we should support each other in this time. So her website is Tierra y Vino, TIERRAYVINO.com. And if you put in the code STOCKUP, STOCKUP, you get 20% off your order. She has reds, she has whites, she has rosés. Her rosé is my favorite rosé, but I was out tonight, so I'm drinking her Petite Syrah, which is also very good. So if you are so inclined, you can support a small business owner. Also, I'm wearing Free Waters, and I guess I wore these on an Instagram post, and I guess their sales went crazy, which is awesome. It makes me super excited. They're also not a sponsor because I don't have sponsors for my podcast, but I thought I would tell you about them anyway. They have this style, and they have a nice arch sport. See the arch? But they reached out to me after Bert's Instagram post and said they would give my listeners 15% off. Again, I'm not getting any money from this. I'm just passing savings on to you. So if you go to Free Waters, FREE, waters.com, and put in the code WOTP15, you'll get 15% off your purchase. And they have flip-flops. They have like activewear shoes. They have tennis shoes. They have awesome shoes. But these rubber flip-flops, right? Nice arch sport. I love them. They're the most comfortable rubber flip-flops I've ever had. So I thought it was cool that they reached out and were like, hey, can we give your listeners a discount? I was like, I think everybody would be okay with a discount. So no obligation to buy anything. Obviously, they don't sponsor my podcast. I don't have sponsors. I just thought I would pass on a discount. That's all. So anyway, I thought this was a really fun podcast. We talked about quarantine. We talked about what we're buying. Jeanne is buying all these awesome things from this thing called Good Morning America Steals and Deals. I've never heard of this, but apparently this is another way to support small businesses. And I guess Good Morning America posts small businesses that you can buy things from every day. And I'm totally going to check that out. Sam is buying underwear from this place called Hanky Panky. She talks about that. So you can check that out. And we talk about our, this photo frame that's a sponsor for Bert's podcast called Skylight that I think is just awesome. And Mother's Day is coming. It may be a little late to purchase for Mother's Day, but I have enjoyed this picture frame so much. So anyway, just passing along good stuff. Again, I don't have any sponsors for my podcast, so I'm not doing any reads, but maybe I've had too much of the Petite Syrah. Anyway, thanks for coming back. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is well and everyone in your family is well. And as much as I know, it's not true for everybody that no one's been affected personally by losing someone. I hope no one has. And if you have, I am so sorry for your loss. And hopefully maybe listening to the podcast will help you escape for a moment from the reality of what's been happening. Anyway, thanks for coming back every week. I really appreciate it. Thanks for buying my mug. And I have a couple of Navy sweatshirts that are back online if you'd like those. And I really enjoy my podcast. And thank you so much for those of you who reach out and say you enjoy them too. And thank you for the couple that say you don't know what you're talking about. I like that too, because what is life if you're not learning? And you can't learn if you do everything right. I mean, there's no learning to be made, to be had. So I appreciate those emails also. And I appreciate you. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy this happy hour with Jeanne and Sam. Have fun. Get your wine on. You look nice.
Well, thank you. I got my hair colored today. Thank God.
So nice.
No roots. Look.
I know. I had the same thing like 2 weeks ago. My guy came and right underneath our orange tree, he did my color, waited, reapplied, and then left. And I showered and just.
That's what, yeah. So she did it in the backyard and then just left it in. And I worked for whatever, an hour, and then went to a shower and washed it out.
Yeah, same here.
I love her. I'm so thankful. Oh my God. She's my hero right now.
Me too. Now my nails, on the other hand.
Oh my God. My toes. So she didn't have any more of those brown sandals. So I got, hang on one second.
So for people watching, we had an online Zoomcast shopping party. And Jeannie didn't get to go, so she watched the recording and she bought some stuff later. So I think she's showing me what she bought. Oh my God, I love these shoes. Oh, I have them, but not that color. They're the most comfortable shoes.
Well, you know I'm a yellow person.
Yes. I love those shoes.
So sweet. I'm putting them on now just to, like have them on. Oh, and then I'll show you what else I got. Hang on.
She is so sweet. And I'm so glad we did that for her. She was so appreciative.
She was like, I can't believe you watched the whole video. I was like, why? Hi. Why can't you believe that? Neither can I.
Jeannie is showing us what she bought at Jenny's Verona shopping party, which nobody watching understands or knows. Oh, I love that hat.
Oh, it's so cute.
That's perfect on you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
The hat that I was wearing for my long walks with the dogs to protect myself was embarrassing my children. Every time, like this giant gray cotton thing, and they were like, every time I put it on, Sasha was like, what is that?
No more of that. No more of that.
She likes this one, don't you, Sasha? Come say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Sasha. Hi. You look so pretty.
You gonna start drinking yet?
I have mine.
I have mine.
I have mine.
Oh, I have mine. Right. So
Look what class it is.
These are the shoes I got.
Oh, those are super cute.
They're so comfortable.
Oh, my favorite. I have 2 pairs of those. Not the exact
It's so
one.
funny because until you're with them and you touch them, you can't believe what the material is.
No.
They're light as a feather.
It's
They're
crazy.
so light. So
Cheers, ladies.
virtual cheers. Happy hour.
Cheers.
Tap the camera.
Tap the camera.
Cheers.
Tap the camera.
Cheers.
Tap. So
Done.
what are you drinking?
I am drinking Malibu rum and orange peach mango juice, but I only had like that much orange peach mango juice left. So that means it's the majority of the cup is rum, which is so abnormal for me.
It is.
That is.
And I got her those glasses years ago. So
They're awesome.
And
are they so her?
they're amazing. And it's all the kids want to drink out of. So like now they're accessible at the new place.
Wait, you have a kitten?
We got a kitten, quarantine kitten. This is what happens when you're quarantined. You get more animals in your house. And
You
we
got a
this guy.
kitten. What's
Yes.
his name?
His name is Dipper.
Oh.
He was just a neighborhood feral cat kitten.
Oh yeah.
And and so we got him at 4 weeks old because it wasn't a good place for him to be. So they were just trying to get him into homes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so fun. I haven't had a cat since I was in high school, but he's our little quarantine cat.
And does he get along with the dogs? He likes
Oh my God. So the Allie, the one our 10-month-old dog, is obsessed. Like she wants to just put him on her back and carry him wherever she goes. She is so into him.
Oh.
Rex, who's like a little Shih Tzu, he's like, whatever. Totally indifferent.
But at least he doesn't go after her.
Doesn't go after him. He just is like, whatever, But Rex was like, whatever, when we brought the new dog in, and it took him a while to like her. So he may come around.
Yeah, he probably will.
He's so
He's
cute.
so cute.
That is
This
very.
is what happens when you're stuck inside with your family. They convince you to do crazy things.
It's showing Shane.
I know. I was thinking when you start getting pets when your kids are like 14 and 17, like cats live a really long time.
Yeah.
And so she's going to be like in her 30s and I'm still going to have this fucking cat.
You're going to have to watch your grandbabies around the cat.
Right? Like, what's this pet for?
It's a commitment. Cats are commitment.
Yeah, right? He's going to live to be but they live a long time, huh?
Yeah.
Yo, I had a cat that lived to be 18. They can live to be about 25, I think. Yeah. So yeah, Fatty, my cat Fatty, I got him when I was 5.
Yeah.
He died when I was 23.
Wow.
God.
It was my whole childhood. He was like my brother.
Aww.
Yeah, I was really devastated when he died. I was telling somebody about this the other day. He was because, oh, did I cry? It was awful.
No, but like
I was telling Halston. I was telling Halston about it because Halston just had to put his dogs down. But my cat went through, when I was 5, I got the cat. My parents were married. My parents divorced when I was 7.
Okay.
I moved something like 8 times with the cat before the cat died. Maybe more than that, actually, I think about it. I had no sibling. So the only thing I had was that cat. And the cat only liked me. He didn't like anybody else. So he was like almost a feral cat, except for with me. I mean, my dad couldn't touch him. No one could touch him. He was mine. So it was a really special kind of connection. And then when he was older, because he was a lot older, his thyroid started kind of failing. He was 30 pounds when he was healthy. 30 pounds. My cat now, for point of reference, is 13 pounds. So his head was like, he was just an enormous cat. So by the time he died, he only weighed about 9 pounds.
Oh.
And the day he died, he was sleeping with me, and I was living with my mom at the time, and she'd snuck in my room and took a picture of me talking to him, just to take a picture, because we knew we were kind of at the end of his life. So she was taking a lot of pictures of him at that time. So she took this picture of me petting him, and I was saying to him, I think you need to go. I mean, I'm okay if you go. I think it's time for you to go. And I had decided I was going to put him down like that weekend. So I was in college. I went to college. I came home and I had a little balcony off my bedroom, and he had gone outside and curled up in the sun and fallen asleep and passed away.
Oh.
And my mom took the picture that morning when I was saying to him,
oh my God,
time for you to go. She captured that moment. Now, I don't have that photograph. That photograph is probably in embers somewhere and scattered. But I remember that picture so well because I thought, wow, I can't believe that was the minute she took that picture. I was literally saying to him, it's time for you to go. And he went that day.
That's heartbreaking.
He was he needed to. It was so much easier than putting him down.
Yeah. That's what our Bailey, our lab, passed away in our living room on the floor.
Yeah.
And I had texted with the woman to come to our house that morning.
Yeah.
And she was like, nah, I'm going on my own.
Right? I'm checking out on my own terms.
Yeah.
Well, Fatty did the same thing. He was ready and he just went to sleep. Yeah. So crazy. Pets are amazing parts of our lives. You don't have any pets, do you, Sam? Oh, you have a snake. Do you still have that
not
snake?
Anymore. No, I got rid of the snake. I gave the snakes to my brother. No, we don't have any pets.
No.
The kids want them all the time. And I was contemplating getting one. And then we moved and we can't have pets at the new place. But also Billy's allergic.
Oh.
So the other kids are like, well, we could just get rid of Billy. I'm like, like, there's some time left before he's like.
I was going to say, you're a year away, so you know.
Yeah, get rid of him, and then he's going to come home. So that's so mean. But no, they want some. But I'm like, that's why we go to friends' houses, and then they get to pet, the animals at friends' houses.
Well, we're not quite at Kreischer status, but now we have 2 dogs, a cat, a lizard, and a fish.
There you go.
You're getting there. You're quickly approaching. Quickly approaching. We have how many? 2, 3, 2, 5, 6. We only have 6 pets.
Sam, do you guys want a lizard?
No.
Hey. Okay. I've been trying to get rid of that lizard for years.
How come?
There's nowhere to put it, and they don't take care of it. That's the thing. If I get a pet, I'm taking care of it, and I don't want to fucking take care of a pet.
And that's another thing. Lizards live forever. I'm going to have that lizard.
Do they?
Like in my 50s. Yes. Oh, actually, I'm about to turn 50. So check.
In your 60s.
God, I for some reason think I'm so much younger than I am.
So do I. I'll be 52. I'm right behind you. I think
I'm 58 on June 8th.
And I'm August 20th. So I'm right behind you. What are you going to do for your 50th?
Oh, I had a big camping in Carpinteria weekend planned, but it's done. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Did it get canceled for sure? I was wondering. I forgot to ask.
Yeah, they're all closed.
Yeah. Campgrounds are closed. Our Girl Scout trip, we didn't cancel it. The campground canceled it.
Yeah. So
They
it's
were like,
canceled.
closed. That's a bummer. So are you just going to postpone it like a year, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't need to turn 50 until next year.
Yeah, no.
I'll be 49 for another year. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
I hadn't planned anything yet for mine. So nothing got canceled. Nothing got planned.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to do for mine, but something
fun.
Something, yeah. I thought about just inviting everybody back to Lake Wedowee, but that would be really crowded.
Oh, that would be so amazing. That would be so much fun.
It would be really fun. We'd have to borrow some like RVs from some family members to get everybody to fit, but it would be fun. Lots to do.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. So, how's it been for you guys during this time, besides acquiring new pets and whatnot, what have you? How's work for you, Jeannie?
It's pretty dead. I have to say though, the last week has kind of gotten busy again. I'm getting a lot more emails and like just work. So I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Sam and I actually were on a Zoom call last week, and we went around and everyone's asked, like, are you dreading the end of this, or are you praying for the end of this? And there was only one person who said that she couldn't wait for it to end. Everybody else was like, well,
yeah.
Just because, there's definitely hard parts of it. And I especially think for the kids in ways that we're not even aware of, socially. But I also I don't miss waking up at 6 a.m. and jumping out of bed and with the list of 50 things that have to happen that day and run all day long and not being able to catch your breath and just the intensity of it all. I don't miss, I don't know how I'm going to start doing that again, but I don't miss that. I love casually getting out of the bed and not setting my alarm clock. It's and when is this ever going to happen again in our lives? Because when this is over, even my work's going to be crazy busy again. So the reality is, even when my kids don't have to get up for school or I'm not doing that anymore, I'm still going to be jumping out of bed to work. And so I'm just trying to really enjoy that part of it, is the calmness of it, the kind of more relaxed vibe in the house. And everyone just seems like they're a lot more chill. Mm-hmm. But then I see the bad parts too. I hear this from a lot of parents. I wasn't sure if it was just mine, but Sasha definitely isn't being very social. I thought for sure it would be 24/7 FaceTime and Zoom calls and dying to see my friends. And so I think socially that they're all kind of I hear that from a lot of parents, that kids who are typically really social aren't being social at all and kind of, really just stepping back. And maybe they needed that. But I think when this ends, it's going to be really hard for them to re-engage.
It'll be interesting for sure. I know Isla and Dakota have been tethered with Lily Fromkin to their device. They're doing virtual sleepovers where they set up their Zoom and go to sleep and wake up the next morning and they're still Zooming. It's
oh my God, that's hilarious.
Crazy. But Isla has been very depressed is a strong word, but I guess blue. She's been really blue. Even with that connection, I wonder if the lack of physical activity, even the physical activity of walking from class to class and PE 1 hour a day, is really affecting her. She's sleeping way too much and can't seem to get up. And I don't think she's sleeping because she's depressed. I think she's sleeping because she's growing. Yeah. But she just seems really blue, and she understands that she's missing a lot from 8th grade. She really was looking forward to, out here they have, I don't remember what it's called, grad night, I think at Six Flags.
Yeah.
She has been looking forward to grad night since George's grad night, where she was like, I just got to get to grad night. I just got to make it to grad night, go to Six Flags. And she can't do that. And we bought the 8th grade t-shirt and she's like, but where am I going to wear it?
I know, we bought it too. And only because Sasha was like, I feel like everybody's getting it and I guess I should get it. And we got it, but no, it'll probably never get worn. But you
never get worn. No.
No, and then the trips. I mean, I'm happy to get those checks back, but she was going to San Francisco and Catalina, all canceled. So getting those back, and the no culmination, no 8th grade dance, all that stuff they're missing out. I mean, like they're never going back to middle school.
No.
So no exposure.
No.
I don't know how much they care about that. It makes me a little sad, and maybe down the line they'll care a little bit more.
Isla cares right now. Isla cares right
Sasha,
now.
Do you care right now? Do you care that you're never going back to middle school again? Yeah, she doesn't care.
Isla really cares because she knows the only person she knows going to her high school is Dakota.
Yeah.
And Isla has a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And she's like, I won't ever see them again. I mean, this was my time to kind of coast through the rest of the year because I got into my high school, and now I can kind of just coast through and be really social. And I think she feels really robbed.
Yeah.
Georgia isn't having those feelings, but she's in 10th grade,
right.
She's got next year and the year after, but Isla's really feeling it. And, that bums me out. It bums me out. If she didn't care, I wouldn't care, but she really cares. So
yeah.
Anyway, we've been talking about that a lot the past 2 weeks. I think it really hit her when we got back from spring break. She was like, oh, we're really not we're not going back. Like, there's no possibility of me seeing anybody.
It's so surreal. I'm like, do they get to go back and clean out their lockers? I mean, I don't even know what's in there, but like there's stuff in there.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
They got to pick up their yearbook.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it's going. You guys breaking any rules? You care to discuss any rules being broken?
What kind of rules?
I don't know. Quarantine rules. No rules are broken at my house because I live with someone who suffers from OCD.
No, we're not breaking them with other people, but we're going. I don't even know that it's really considered breaking them. Like, we're going places, not a lot of places, but just going on adventures. I guess like the rules that would be broken are, it's 9:30 at night. Let's go to the beach on a school night.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because there's no fucking school. It's so ridiculous. So there are those things, but we're not really. I mean, I did see my sister and my stepdad, and I gave them a hug, and I was like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. And even they were like, God, this is the best hug, because they're only seeing each other. And, it's so, you don't realize it until you don't have it. Like, really, truly, that personal connection and touch. Because I agree. Kingston seems very blue. Yeah. And I wonder, like, and I always have to
he didn't get his stuff either.
He's not giving anything either. And the truth is, it's the end of the school year, and we know they'd be doing jack shit if they were in school. And now they have to fill time. So they're like teaching them shit, and you got to write this, and you got to do this. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
And that was the bonus of being a 5th grader in elementary school. You spend the last 3 months of school practicing for culmination.
Exactly. Every single day.
Every day.
So they're totally screwed. So that sucks. And for the first time, I mean, because you guys both know Kingston, he misses school. He wishes he could go back because he has to be active, and he thrives off of structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching this, like, he's tired. And I think that he's tired because he's not doing anything. Because when you're used to just sitting around, then you just get used to sitting around, and you become kind of tired, and it's okay, whatever. So I want to break more rules, but I'm not sure. We have to have friends to break them with.
Yeah,
right.
It's a little hard to break them by yourself.
So
yes, it is.
During front yard drinking, in our front yard, we have 4 chairs, and we put them on either side of the front yard and sit out there and drink. And it's so funny, the response, because we're in the front yard and everyone is out walking in our neighborhood constantly. I joke it's like Mardi Gras in our neighborhood. And people walk by and they're like, yeah, you guys are awesome. Like, people are so excited. But look, we're being safe, but like, they just love seeing it. And they we get cheers, we get all this stuff. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I did hug a friend our friend Jody, it was her birthday, and she became a single mom this year, and she just bought her own house. Oh. And it was like, I didn't even think about it, but I saw her, and it was like right when it was like going through, and it was her actual birthday, and I grabbed her and I hugged her, and she didn't even flinch. Like, it wasn't like she was totally like ready, but there were two other girls, friends of ours, who were like standing more than 6 feet away from us, who went, like, they gasped. They were like, oh, you hugged! Like, they were so upset. And I was like,
it's so crazy. It's such a crazy time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I kind of feel like, this may be a really ignorant way to feel, but I feel like we've all been quarantined for this long and we're all following the rules. Then how could we give it to each other? You know, how?
Well, that's the idea, is that if you are,
people are getting it who have been quarantined and haven't gone around anybody. And like, maybe they've just I heard about somebody who hasn't left her house. She had food delivered to her house 2 or 3 times and got it.
And I do go to the market once a week. So
I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. And also I just feel like this is crazy. How long can we, I mean, we are living a life like this, but how long really can we? I'm people who are really dealing with mental illness issues and depression. How long can they really be alone before there's like no return?
Right.
You know, like, it's serious. The connection is everything.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's super important. I think addicts are really struggling too. A lot of addicts are having a hard time. Mm-hmm. I know Bert was on a podcast and made a joke that he thinks is ridiculous that AA makes you count your sober days in a row. That you should count your sober days and that should count. And I was like, okay. I don't think that's exactly healthy. But since he did that podcast, he's had a lot of people email him saying, I was sober 8 years, totally fell off the wagon 2 weeks into this and can't get it under control. Lots and lots of people. And you have to think, that's terrible that someone would have that much sobriety, that much success under their belt, and have something like this derail them is just heartbreaking because, you know, addiction is just such a terrible disease.
Yeah. Well, I think too that a lot of people, you know, is when we talk about this ending and, you know, like with the positives and the negatives, like one of the funny things has been, I mean, like, first of all, Sam, like, hardly ever drinks, and we were on a different Zoom call and she was like, I'm drinking, you know?
So anyway.
But I think that a lot of people who were more like moderate drinkers are drinking. Everyone is in general drinking a lot more right now than they normally do. And it's, you know, like, there's a gazillion memes out there about it. Everyone's making jokes about it. It's funny. It's this, you know, time everyone is doing it. But I do think for like the people who have issues, it's kind of hard to see like that it's the joke and that it seems really fun. It's a big party. And then it's a party that you're not partaking in. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
My house is not drinking at all. We're not tonight. 2 weeks ago, I did this with Sandy and Kathy. I drank that night. And I think I drank one other night, the whole quarantine. And that's it. Because I am really just a social drinker. Right. I don't drink at home by myself when Bert's out of town, when I'm just not a drinker. I just drink when there's a party. And I don't even usually drink when there's a party. But unless there's a really good bat mitzvah. And then all bets are off.
It's going down.
Yeah. It's going down, baby. Or a birthday party and there's a DJ.
Yes.
And your friend needs help breakdancing.
100%. That's right.
You're her girl. Yeah.
I'm the girl. But yeah, and Bird's drank, if you count it in a row, it's not as many in a row, but in a total of like 1 month and 24 days, I think he's drank 3 days.
Wow.
Which is amazing for him.
For him, I mean, it's like nothing. But he started thinking, maybe I'm a social drinker too. I'm just social every day. You know, he's at a show every day. Every day's a party. Right. Every day's something to do. When he comes home, he wants to hang out with friends and be social. Yeah. So every single day, 7 days a week is social for him. So he drinks socially. Now it's just me and him. And he's like, what's the point? I'm just adding calories to my day. I actually can hang out with you sober, no problem. So I guess it's a compliment, right?
That's a great sign. Yeah, you're winning.
Yeah. It's a compliment, I guess. I know. I don't know. I feel like this time too, for those of us who are happily married, it's been super easy. But I would imagine for some people who were struggling, or some people who were, maybe it's got to be really hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really
hard for some people. I'm no one has to say anything. I'm just saying my experience has been like, we've been totally fine. And I don't live with Bert, right? Yeah. I live with him 2 days a week. So this is the longest I've been with him since Georgia was 3 days old. Like he's been traveling for almost 16 years. This is the longest we've been together, and we've had 0 arguments.
Wow.
I can't believe it. I thought surely.
We had a big argument about the trash being taken out.
You did?
And it wasn't that big. I was just really annoyed because I feel like I'm the trash person in this house. Like everyone will just, and God, it's going to sound so petty and stupid, but it's just annoying when people just keep shoving stuff into the can, and it's like the bag's going to rip when it comes out. But instead of actually taking the time to empty it, they'll just keep shoving it in there. And I'm like the only person who will empty it. And it makes me insane. And I lost it one night. I just lost it because, of course, I went to pull it out and the whole thing broke. And and it also because I had been refusing to do it. I was like, nope, I'm done.
See how long it takes.
This is the one time.
I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, totally like smelly and gross. And I was like, fuck it. And I pulled it out and it ripped. And I was like, why am I the only? And I went nuts. But you know what? I haven't emptied it since.
Nice. Oh, so it worked. Message received. That's good.
Yeah.
I walk around my house and go, how is it logical that everyone's shoes are in the floor? How is that logical for anybody? Where is your logic? And they just look at me like, what? What are you saying? And they never touch their shoes. It makes me nuts. I feel the same way, Jeannie. And Bert yesterday, this is the problem. Bert will say, I'll help you. I just don't see the things you see, which is completely true. He doesn't see a full trash can. He doesn't see it. He'll just keep shoving it in like you're talking about. And he never goes, hey, maybe I should walk that out. That doesn't compute. So yesterday I said, could you take out the garbage? And he went, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to wait 15 minutes because the gardener just blew the backyard and his allergies are legitimately terrible right now. So I was like, no problem. 15 minutes, no problem. You think you took it out? No. So do you think that's happened before? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think that happens with everything?
All the time.
So he always says, I don't understand why you don't ask me to help. Well, that's why. Because I don't want to be disappointed or angry. So I'll just do it myself. It's easier for me to just do it myself. But for me to go back and say, hey, remember when I asked you to take the garbage out and you said, give me 15 minutes and then you never did it? That's why I don't ask you for help. If I did that, victim Victoria would show up. Well, I have allergies and he just blew the backyard and that's unfair. I can't believe that you would throw that up in my face. So then I don't even bother.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'll just do it myself. I'll just act like you're not here. And then I'll just do it by myself, which is probably not the healthiest thing. But it
just builds up. I get so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
frustrating. Over something else really dumb.
So how is your mom, Jeannie? I've been meaning to text you and ask you how she is. She is in DC?
She's in DC. So, she has really severe COPD. Mm-hmm. But this would get her in a New York minute. Like she's just like the type of person who we're staying in for.
Yeah.
And so she hasn't left. She's in a little condo and she's really lonely. And my sister thinks she's getting really, really depressed. My sister went and brought her stuff over and she said that she just looked like ashen, like gray. She hasn't left. But she has a little patio and she wasn't sitting out there. So my sister went and bought a bunch of potted flowers. And if anyone goes over to her condo to bring, they bring her all her food and stuff. She has to go into her bedroom and sit back in her bedroom. And then they come in with mask and gloves, but, try to not be in the same room with her. So my sister brought over a bunch of pots and put them on her patio and told her to sit out there, but she still doesn't even think she sat out there. And it's just the never, like, even when they start opening stuff up, she still can't go out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, I've been meaning to text you for at least a week and ask you how she's doing. So I'm sorry it took me so long to ask.
That's all right.
And I've been texting with Lance, with your dad. Seems fine. Lance texted me to check on me.
This is not going to get him.
No.
He is untouchable, and he has every health issue under the sun.
He does.
Staying home, and that fucker is not going to get him to save his life. No. Doesn't matter. Fuck it. He would be the ones protesting, like, even though he's not. I'm like, Dad, maybe you should, just, I don't, like, really, what is the big deal in staying home? Oh, it's bullshit.
He's still working, right? Like 2 days a week.
He is still working. I mean, that is actually the only thing that he will gripe about is that AAA, because he chose for AAA, they don't have any requirements against people getting in the car with you.
Oh.
So when he goes to tow a car for AAA, they're allowed to get into the truck with him. And he's like, that's bullshit, because that's not really protecting myself or anybody else. So that is the only one thing where I hear him gripe about it.
Yeah.
Is that they have no rules or guidelines for it. But when he talks to like CHP about it, they say, that's not okay. Nobody should be getting in the car with you, basically. So I don't know how that's working, but yeah, he is still working.
I may text him this week because, we bought this new house. Yeah. And it's on a really nice street. And 2 weeks ago when we were there, we take the dogs there every day to run because it's a really big yard. This truck with a towed camper pulled up and parked in front of our house. And I went, oh no. And they unhitched from their camper and drove off.
No.
The camper's still there. The people are living in the camper, but there's no vehicle. And so the camper with the towed camper is there. And I was like, I felt really bad because they're clearly homeless. They're collecting bottles and cans and they're living in front of my house. And I was like, I don't know. The police will handle it. They're not, if nothing's happening on my property, what am I going to do? I'm not living here. It's okay. I'll just turn a blind eye, right? Until I was there checking the mail and they dumped their human waste in the street.
Shut up.
I think I'm going to call somebody now. Oh there's a turd in front of my house on the street.
No!
I think I'm done. I think I'm going to make a phone call.
I think you should call my dad and he will come.
Their RV just all of a sudden starts moving.
Yeah, right? Well, funny enough, I think this neighborhood may be very Russian. And here's why I think this.
Actually,
we have 3 neighbors on one side. 2 of them are Russian. Really, really sweet people. We have some great neighbors. All of our neighbors are really sweet. But on another day, we were leaving our house, and I was locking the gate, and this guy pulls up in a Range Rover. He's like this wide. He's a huge guy. Gets out of his Range Rover. He's speaking in Russian on a cell phone and walking toward me. And I was like, not sure what's happening. But he turned his cell phone off and he goes, is this your house? I said, yes. And he went, oh, I'm Mike. I live right there. Pointed to his house. He's across the street. And he goes, what's the deal with this camper? And I said, I don't know. I mean, I was here when they parked it and I'm not really sure what to do about it. And he went, oh, I know what to do about it. Is it okay with you if I do something about it? And I went,
I like Mike.
I went, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, I called the police and they told me there's nothing I can do, nothing they're going to do about it. So I thought I'd ask a couple of my friends to get some baseball bats and we'd do something about it. Oh, I want to know if you were okay with that. And I'm like, I'm good. You do whatever you want, Mike. Whatever you want. Oh okay. What I don't know won't hurt me. I don't know. So I don't know if Mike is planning on handling them, but
are they still there?
They're still there.
Do the Russians who are your neighbors know that the machine is moving in?
They do. Mike doesn't. But they do, and they have kind of lost their mind, which makes me think that we may be really safe in our new neighborhood. Sasha and Igor may show up one day.
All neighborhoods for you to be moving into. To move into a Russian neighborhood, I feel like you have come full circle.
I feel like it was such serendipity because I had no idea. And
That's
literally,
hilarious.
the guy who built our fence was Russian. And he looks at my last name and he goes, Kreischer? I said, yes. And he went, the machine? And I was
Oh my God.
yeah, and he goes,
Oh shit!
oh my God, your husband's the machine? I have to have a picture. My brother's gonna lose his mind. You don't understand. We have seen that story so many times. We watched the special on Netflix over and over and over. Every time we're together, we just fast forward to the end of the special. I can't believe it. I have to meet him. He lost his mind.
Oh my God.
My neighbors haven't lost their mind to that extent.
That's hilarious.
They definitely lit up and were like, oh, when they figured out who he was. So
That's funny. Machine
So
part
funny.
2. The
I know,
machine
right?
part 2 as a parent.
Oh my God, the neighborhood.
part 2, it comes full circle. They protect our compound. I love it.
Totally. So funny.
They get rid of the camper in front of my.
No shit.
I love that they're going over with bats. I think we should just have Lance come tow it away.
I think it might be safer, nicer
Yeah.
to have them be towed away. Maybe.
Yeah, baseball bats, maybe. Well, there's no windows. The glass is all broken already. So it may not be the first Russian who got a hold of that camper. All the windows have like soda box cardboard.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh.
I mean, it breaks my heart. I really do feel terrible. I mean, when they first pulled up, I was like, what am I going to do? Say, get out of my yard. You know, how dare I be that arrogant asshole person?
Yeah, but you just know they're never going to move.
They're never going to move. And when he dumped his shit in the street, I was like, that's not okay.
No.
I probably would not have said anything to him for a long, long time. But now I have this one neighbor that I've never met. I've left my phone number in his mailbox multiple times. Please call me. I'd love to meet you. We share a fence. I'm going to replace the fence. Want to talk to you about the fence. Never hear from him until the shit hit the street. And then he started calling me. He calls me every day.
Oh, shit.
So this is what I've done today. Today I have called Paul Krikorian and I have reported it to our city councilman.
Oh
Click.
my God.
Today I have called the Department of Transportation. I have reported it to the Department of Transportation. Click. Today I've called the North Hollywood Police.
Oh my God.
So I got to meet a neighbor.
That's good.
Well, that's a win.
Was he Russian? Is he Russian?
He's not Russian. No.
Oh.
He's a non-Russian.
That's so
funny.
Crazy, right?
Totally crazy.
Where are they going to go? What? I mean, I wonder. There's no.
Like so many park. I mean, they park around the parks. A lot of them.
I know.
Like that NoHo Park is just surrounded by RVs.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's more than one on my street. Like this is not the only guy on the street. It's like a block away, but they're still parked. This is a nice wide street.
Yeah.
You know? So
Lots of trees, shade.
Yeah, very shady. It was a perfect spot.
It was. He picked a perfect spot.
That's crazy.
If he just kept his shit in his pants, he'd been all right.
You
sorry,
eventually would
Sasha.
have wanted him to go away.
Well, now you'll know if you show up there and they're gone that the Russians got to them. And
Or my good friend Lance.
There's
All right,
Lance.
so when did this happen with the Russians saying the baseball bats? Was that today or yesterday?
No, I think it was Monday. Today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Now I'm like so curious to like do a drive-by, see what's going on.
Yeah. He was an enormous man too. Like that guy Mike was an enormous, and he's not fat. He was an enormous human being where you just go, whoa, I don't want to mess with that guy. He's bigger than Lance. Like big.
Okay, that's big. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my excitement for the week. My
That's
Russian
exciting.
mafia returns home.
You have built-in bodyguards within the neighbors. That's perfect.
That's
I think
perfect.
that's kind of cool.
When Bert goes back on the road, you're set.
I know. Hopefully, I have to bake everybody some cookies.
No kidding.
I have a lot of leftover Girl Scout cookies. If anybody wants any, I got a lot. Maybe I'll hand them out to the Russians.
Totally.
We'll do this cookie.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God.
Totally gift them.
So what are you guys doing in quarantine? Are you cooking anything you really like? Are you playing any board games? Are you watching any movie marathons? Give me some stuff to
All
do.
of the above, right? I mean, we're definitely cooking a lot. I'm so over cooking. Anyone else? And cleaning up after cooking.
I feel like I make breakfast and I wash the dishes and then it's time to make lunch and then I wash the dishes again. And then by the time dinner's here, I don't want to do anything.
No, I know. I'm just so tired of cooking and then cleaning it all up. And like my oven is so nasty right now because I made chicken schnitzel. I don't know why. On Cinco de Mayo.
Because that's logical.
I don't know why. But we've been doing Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. And I was like, I don't want to do Taco Tuesday on Cinco de Mayo. But like the oil everywhere, it's just gross. And it totally needs to be cleaned and it really bothers me. And, what are you going to do? But yes, playing a lot of games and then like binge watching. Sam and I have been watching a lot of the same stuff. Unorthodox with 4 episodes Netflix. Oh my God, so good.
What is it?
Oh, it's so good.
It's like somewhat based loosely on a true story. It's written by book, but it's a Orthodox, like strict New York community, and it's. I mean,
okay,
I don't think we have a lot of strict Orthodox listening to this podcast.
I watched Did you watch the making of it? Because that was insane. Because then she went in to explain it's even a smaller community in the Orthodox community. Because I know nothing about it. And it's only 4 episodes. It's so well done. I thought she was
unbelievable. She was so beautiful, so amazing. But it's like a cult. It's crazy in the rules, and she's trying to get out.
Yeah.
And so it's based on that, and it is based on a woman who was a part of did marry to an Orthodox community in New York and escaped, and she goes to Berlin, and fascinating. And then Little Fires Everywhere.
So good.
Oh, I'm reading that book. I don't want to watch it till I've read it.
So we read the book in our book club, but I have to say the series made changes to the book that I really liked.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and so it makes it even more fun watching it. But that was really, really juicy and good. I loved that. And then everybody did Tiger King.
Everybody did Tiger King. Yeah.
I mean, and this is all shit I would never have watched before. Never.
No.
I watched that.
You watched Tiger King before?
No, and I really was disturbed by it. It made me so uncomfortable how the animals were treated. I don't care how people are being treated. I don't care that woman, I'm sure, murdered her husband. I don't care about any of those people. I just cared that the animals were treated so inhumanely.
Yeah, I agree.
Horrible.
It was awful.
And then McMillions, you guys, if you haven't watched that, is really good. It's like Tiger King, but documentary on the McDonald's
Monopoly.
80s. Oh, so fascinating. And the people are like characters.
Yes.
Like you can't, are they for real? It's like Tiger King in that way. Where you can't believe these people are real.
I know. I agree. I haven't finished it. I started it and then I got sidetracked. I think Bert came home and I stopped watching it because I didn't want to start it over. So I just stopped because we are all but required to all 4 hang out together every single night. This is my only getaway. The only excuse I have is a happy hour podcast. This is why I've done 2 now. I'm going to do one every week.
It's my whole family will play a game together. Like we can all do Clue together. There's certain games we can all play together. But in terms of watching TV, because Elijah's 17, a boy 17, girl 14, there's very little that they both want to watch.
Right.
Do you have that problem, Sam?
Yeah. Well, Billy has so much schoolwork.
Yeah.
I swear to God, he's doing more schoolwork at home than he did when he was at school.
And then they have the AP exams next week, so it's lots of practice tests.
It's fucking terrible. He finally left today to go down to the beach. He and Nicole went down to the beach to see the bioluminescent waves.
Oh, fun. We're doing that tomorrow.
He hasn't left the house in days. So we did watch Tiger King, a couple of episodes together, and then he watched it separately. But Dakota's off FaceTiming with Lily and Isla all day long. And
you know what they're doing? They're FaceTiming on one device and playing Minecraft on another device.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then their Minecraft is tethered to each other.
Yeah.
So they're like double connected.
They're such dorks.
It's massive dorkness over here.
That's hilarious.
They're mega dork.
It's so cute.
It's great. I don't mind it at all, except that Isla has become completely inactive physically. And it's because I can't get her off that FaceTime with those 2 girls. And Bert.
Let's do a social distance walk.
Totally.
I know Bert won't even allow that though, will he?
I know.
Yeah.
We did it. We did it with one of Kingston's friends. I mean, the thing is that the life-saving thing I will say in this whole thing is when I do take them out of the house when they don't want to. Like Kingston doesn't want to, and I make him leave when we've gone. We went and saw the poppies, and then we went and just went for a drive by the beach, and we went and did the bioluminescent. And it did feel like, I don't know if it was just my exhale getting into the car, but it did feel like there was just this weight lifted off of everybody's shoulders, like some sort of normalcy. Like they're not going to the stores and seeing everybody wearing masks, but it was just the fact that we're getting out of the house.
Yeah.
Something different.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I felt like there was a different tone to them. So I agree. Like I can't take the non-physical thing, but there's not much for us to do now. We're in a tiny apartment. So we don't have a backyard. We don't have a yard to go into. And it's really hard. So that piece is killing me because they need to move their bodies.
Yeah, they do. They need to be outside a little bit.
Yeah.
They do.
I do every day. We order Coffee Bean on the mobile. And then Sasha and I drive there to go pick it up. And then we usually go for a drive, like just stupid, like down Ventura Boulevard or up into the hill and then circle around and come back home. And she like will be like if I'm, I'll be working and she'll be like, are we going now? Are we going now? Are we going now? Like she can't wait just to get in the car and go to Coffee Bean. It's funny. And I do Trader Joe's once a week. That's my one shopping I do. And I at the beginning just decided to do Trader Joe's because there's so many specific things that my kids like that are from there. And then I've been getting produce from a produce farm delivery thing because I hate Trader Joe's produce. So it all just worked out better. But I get like giddy, like get my cart, getting in there and like shopping because it feels like normal again, even though everyone's in masks and everything. It's just weird. I mean, like I get to the checkout area and I'm like, hey, how are you? To see the people and be in my Trader Joe's. And I'm sure they're like, why is she so excited? But tomorrow is my Trader Joe's day and I get really weirdly excited about it. I don't know why.
I do too. I do the same thing. I get excited about it too. I think hopefully we will keep that when this all goes back to normal. Not that, I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to the pace I was running at before. And I figured out I sometimes would make myself busier than I needed to.
Yeah.
Right? There's no reason to go to the grocery store more than once a week because we are doing it now.
Totally. Yes. I was doing 5 stores. I was going to all these different stores. I don't need to do that.
No. Why? Because you need to have that one thing from this one place. I've been going to Trader Joe's every 2 weeks and Instacarting everything else. And I was like, Instacart is an imperfect system. Sometimes they don't give you good stuff. Every once in a while, I'll be like, that avocado is a cement block. And I kind of wanted to eat it for dinner. So, okay. But for the
world problems.
I know, right? Totally. That's the truth because you go, well, at the same time, I've stayed home and I've given someone an income to deliver that grocery. I've just supported somebody, and I'm always a good tipper. But during this time, I've been tipping ridiculously because I'm grateful because that person is putting themselves at risk for me in theory, So
absolutely,
they deserve a really big tip, I think. So I feel like, well, this is a win-win, and look how much time I've gained. So why don't I just continue that when this goes back to normal and gain myself this time that I felt I needed to go pick my avocado. So it's not like a cement block. Well, guess what? I've been living with a cement block avocado for like 6 weeks now. I'm okay. I'm actually making it through. So maybe I'll hold on to that after this is over and not set myself to such expectations that really don't matter.
Yeah.
The expectations that should matter are, how you parent your kids or how you spend time with each other. And we did that too, but I would add all these other things that I thought mattered similarly. And now I think that they actually don't. So I'm going to try and keep that perspective a little bit when this is back. I don't know. When do you think we're going to be released back out to the wild? Any thoughts?
Well, today they released some stuff. So like Friday, this weekend, I guess, golf courses and parks and stuff are reopening.
Okay.
So like you could hike Fryman with a mask, and not with like you can hike with your spouse or with your child, but not with a group of friends or anything like that. And then clothing stores and bookstores and stuff are being reopened, but for pickup only.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like heard that, and I was like, no. Which then you feel super guilty for even feeling that way, because it's probably good, but I don't know if it is or not. For you feel bad for the frontline workers and the healthcare workers who are being put in this situation, and now they reopen stuff, and it maybe could be good for them in terms of us moving forward. And then I'm like, I don't want to move. I'm like good with. I feel like that you feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot to be. I'm curious to see what happens in Alabama and Georgia, where they've opened movie theaters and, stuff like that, malls, and like the Floribama, which is this really famous bar on the Florida-Alabama line, just reopened today.
Really?
Yep. And I'm like,
it'll be packed, I'm sure.
It'll be packed this weekend, I'm sure. And they're saying we're going to do our social distancing, but it's going to be impossible. That's one of those spring break places. Not that it's spring break, but it's one of those summer places that are just packed.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how it all pans out, because there's part of me that wonders how herd immunity would work, in those situations where we're all exposed and some people get it really bad and some people don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to work. I'm interested to see. I'm glad I don't live there.
Yeah.
And I can watch from afar.
I know. I'm very curious to see what happens in Georgia, because Georgia, I think, is the biggest, most populated place that's completely reopened with really no rules. But
yeah, their governor is an interesting fellow. He has my maiden name. There is no relation. No relation to that guy. Nope. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. We'll see how it goes.
I think I don't pay attention a lot to the news, because I just don't. I don't like to. It's a lot. And I am worried that people are going to go out and be totally crazy and fuck it up. Mm-hmm. And then there are like the memes that are going around that are like, well, the states are opening up because there's more room in the ICU for you.
Yeah.
Which is like true. Like, what is going to happen? Are we going to open up out of like complete stupidity and the necessity to get out of the house because people really can't handle it? And then is it going to be worse? Are we going to be closed down for longer? Like, I don't know what is better. What is it? So
I'd rather us and I know because they talk about that resurgence in the fall that could happen. And again, it makes me sad for the kids because I want them to have a normal freshman year of high school, and I want them to be able to start and it to be normal and to be able to experience the normal things that happen. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Like they're saying that if high school football happens in the fall, if it even happens, it will be to empty stands.
Right.
It's just such a bummer because it's such a part of social.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I was listening to a podcast with this woman. I don't remember. I think she was an epidemiologist, saying that what will get us back is a combination of several things. That it's not just one thing. It's testing everybody to see who has it, who's had it, who has the antibodies. It's a little bit of herd immunity and a vaccine. Like a combination of those. But even a vaccine could leave us with something like the flu.
Yeah.
You get vaccinated for the flu doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu. It just means that you may not have it as badly or maybe not at all. But, you vaccinate for influenza A and now you have influenza B. It's kind of, I think we have to also kind of adjust our expectations of what that would look like, because if you look at the statistics for how many people pass away from influenza in a really bad flu year, it's a staggering amount of people. And we don't hear about that in the news. I mean, I think I was listening to Dr. Drew talk about this, and he said 2 years ago, we lost 80,000 people to the flu. but that wasn't a news story. No. So we have to kind of adjust our logic, not that we want anybody to die of anything ever, but how do we go back to some sense of normalcy and have some kind of measured expectation about what this looks like, especially in context. I didn't know that about the flu. I had no idea that many people died of the flu.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
He said 2 years ago was a terrible year for the flu. The last year was not as bad. I don't remember how many he said died last year, but it was significantly less. It was like 25,000 or something like that.
Wow.
So it's kind of a measured fear, I guess.
Yeah.
Or a fear based on what you can control. You can't control the flu. Well, we're probably not going to be able to control this either. I think what we were trying to do is manage the overwhelming of the medical field, so that they could be treated properly. Whereas the flu is not so like hard and fast. It's a little more, I think, easily managed. So I don't know.
There's a test site in Woodland Hills off of Canoga and Oxnard, I think. Mm-hmm. I was over there yesterday, and that line, I'm not kidding you, was hundreds and hundreds of cars deep.
Really?
The entrance is on Canoga. You were a mile away, like on the south, like the next street over, which is Topanga, or no, there's a street in between. I think it's Owens Mouth, and the cars were lined up to turn right onto Oxnard to then turn right onto Canoga halfway down to get into the parking lot. And I think that there were like numerous lines within the parking lot. I wanted to like come home and look up how many they must test at that site. I don't know how many test sites there are, but you would easily have to wait in that line for hours, I would guess, at how many cars were there. It was insane. Like for a minute, I'm like, there's a shit ton of traffic for everybody supposed to be at home right now, right? But then I was like, oh, it's not moving. So there's a test site right there. And I don't know if it's just for the COVID test or if it's for the antibody test also. Because I want to get the antibody test because I think I already had it in January. I was super, super sick. And they didn't test me for it, but I went to the hospital and I had all the same symptoms.
Wow.
I don't think it means anything because they don't know whether you could get it again if you've already had it. But at least then I might know, like, if I did, and then I know what that feels like.
Right. Right.
So it's crazy.
Our neighbor Dave was super sick in early February. We've lived across from him for almost 15 years. I've never seen him like this. He missed like over a week of work, ran a fever the entire time, never got out of bed, like was just a mess. And the weekend, I found out he was sick because Monday he didn't go to work. And I was like, oh, I noticed his car was there. I was like, is he okay? And his wife told me he's really sick. And we had played dominoes with them at our house on Saturday night, like in a small room. So I think he probably had it in the beginning of February and was like sitting there with us. And I never got sick or anything, but then I could be one of those people who was asymptomatic, like didn't.
Yeah.
But like we were all playing, touching the you like watch them, touching.
Sharing drink.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's no way. I mean, we were all totally exposed to it. And I'm convinced he had it.
Mm. Well, the kids, nobody in my house got it. But I went to the hospital. I was so sick. I could not move.
Oh my God.
I was coughing up a storm. I went to the hospital and I remember I walked into the emergency room. They took me in. They hooked me up to an IV right away. They took x-rays and I had this moment of like, I overreacted and I shouldn't have come here. They must be super slow and they're testing me. Like they're just giving me like the queen treatment right now. But then all of this came out and I was like, holy shit. I was shocked when they told me I didn't have the flu because I literally could only move from my bedroom to the couch and that would take everything out of me. I slept for days and days and days. I was sick for a week and they gave me an IV and they gave me a breathing treatment, which helped, but didn't take it away. And all they said was I had an upper respiratory infection, which I was like, I don't even know what that okay,
Did you say no shit?
Yeah, because I thought literally it was kind of like, my boss was like, maybe you should go to the hospital. This is not good. Like, you really can't get out of bed. You're so sick that you cannot move. And
wow.
She's like, you should go get tested for the flu. And they said, no, it wasn't the flu. So I feel like.
And they weren't testing. I mean, they didn't even have it.
They weren't testing then. Right. Yeah.
No, I know a few people that had something similar where one of my friend's husbands thought he had pneumonia because he'd had pneumonia previously, went to the doctor, tested negative for pneumonia, but they were like, you are extremely sick.
Yeah.
You were really high fever, like 103 fever, and sick for days and days, but did not have pneumonia. And I was like, this was in mid-February.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he probably had it. And then another friend of mine's daughter had the same thing, really high fever, really sick, went to the doctor, did not have the flu. But this was in like February before we knew what was up.
So my fear is with all of this is that I feel like there's, so many positives that have come out of this. Environmentally, number one, huge. When you look at how fast we corrected so many wrongs environmentally with this. And it's then everyone's blood pressure is going down. And I know that a lot of like big companies are saying they're going to move forward differently. We don't need to have this many people driving into offices every day. Obviously, everyone's being really productive at home. Like, do we really need to bring all these people into an office every day? You can do this. I mean, oh my God, my work is so Zoom happy, almost too Zoom happy. Like, because you can't multitask. Like, I can't answer emails and be like, like, cause they're on my computer. So it's so frustrating because you have to, when you're on the work Zoom call, you have to like be like this. Of course, all my coworkers and I are texting each other funny things. So there have been times when I'm like literally losing it and I'll be sitting like this and all you see is stuff in my head because I'm laughing so hard and I don't want my bosses to know. So I just sit there like this, shaking because somebody said like, look at so-and-so, they're doing this. And then I had a friend who one of my coworkers took all of us on a Zoom call and spent an entire night adding thought bubbles to our heads and then sent us all the picture. And she was like dead on in terms of if we could have put thought bubbles next to our head.
Oh my God.
But obviously, so, everyone's being productive. You don't need to get everyone back into an office again. There are certain people, I made my husband bring me wine.
Yay, Darren!
Hey, Darren! Husband of the year.
Thank you. So then we don't need to get all those people back in the office and get all those cars on the road again. I'm still good for the environment, and it's less stressful for the people who have crazy long commutes. So if everyone's saying they're going to do all this good stuff, that we're going to move forward differently, that we're going to take the positives from this, like my fear is that we're like as a entirety, as a human race, so dumb. And like after 9/11, the world was all in love with each other. Everyone loved us. We were so supportive and so loved. And then like within 2 years, we're hated. We're the the most horrible country in the world because of the war. And so like we lost that so fast. And my fear is that we're going to lose the positive feeling that has come from this. Yeah. Like within, like I'm like scared 6 months from now, like no one's going to even remember, what it was like. And it's not just remember like, how the positive for us that we don't have to jump out of bed, but like the, the healthcare workers and the sacrifices they've made and that they like, it's like living through a war. I mean, I feel like these healthcare workers are going to have such severe PTSD when they're done because they've had to walk away from dying people in hospital beds because they have to go care for the next person and their family member can't come in and they have to let these people die alone, which goes like against everything in them. That's like not who they are. It's not why they chose this profession. So you're going to have this whole, I just hope the love and the support and the gratitude towards these people doesn't waver, that we continue to have that and even still look at our grocery, workers and those people who have worked through this with such pride and like still, I just hope we don't forget. I'm so scared we're going to look like fucking morons 6 months from now because we're going to be so greedy and, my grocery store is not opening and, I just don't want that to happen.
I agree with you. I don't want that to happen either.
Yeah.
I think when this first happened, I'm not a religious person, but I am very spiritual. When this very first happened, I said to Bert, there's a reason for this. I think God is saying, you need to slow down as a human race. You need to slow down. You're destroying my planet.
Yep.
And you're not focusing on what's important in your life. So I said, if for me to look at it in this like metaphysical, spiritual way, I think that was the purpose. So for us to then go back to the way we were before would be really going against the gift that was given, right? Yeah. So yeah. I agree with you totally. I think if we are stupid enough to not take this as a gift, then I guess we deserve what we get. Yep. But I don't want to go back to the way we were before. I don't want to feel so hectic, and I don't want to go to 5 grocery stores in 1 week. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want, that sounds so petty and stupid, but
no, I totally agree. I feel like it was petty and stupid that we were doing it.
It was
saying totally. It is not petty and stupid. It's we don't need to do that. We were making ourselves crazy.
Yeah. For what?
Yeah. And Sam and I were talking about this too before, is years ago, you guys will probably remember, there was like some sort of bomb threat or something against LAUSD, all schools. And they made the decision to close the schools for the day. And they got a lot of grief from it. Even from like the New York public school system, like they were like, they shouldn't have. And a lot of parents were really mad. And I worked and had to take the day. And I remember like sitting at a restaurant with my daughter, and we had this amazing lunch. And I remember thinking, thank you for the gift. Thank you, LAUSD, for the gift of time today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten this lunch. And Sam has been so grateful for time, too, that she wouldn't have had with her kids during a time that they just moved to a new place and they're trying to get settled. And this was a perfect timing. I mean, you hate to say that because of all the people dying and the healthcare workers. But there is gratitude for the gift of time that I feel like I know my kids better than I've ever known my kids.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Bert has never spent this much time with his kids in their entire life. In their whole life. They've never been with their dad this much. And
I think about that.
Him too. He has so much guilt that he talks about to me all the time that he hasn't been here. And I keep saying, this is the life we knew we were going to have. You couldn't do anything else for a living. You think you could work a 9 to 5? No. This is who you are. So the important thing is when you're here, you're really plugged in. And he always has been really plugged in. He goes to softball games. He picks up, he drops off. He makes dinner. He's really plugged in. So I was like, well, maybe this is an opportunity for you to take care of that guilt. So you stay really plugged in the entire time you're home. And you can make deposits in that bank that you feel like you haven't been able to make deposits into, like you want to. Of course, he wants to do his career. Of course, anybody who's does it as well as he does wants to do it. But it's not without some collateral, some collateral damage where you go, well, then I don't get to go to my kids' play. And I miss certain things that other moms and dads get to see. So I said to him, you need to really look at this as a gift. This is a gift. It's not a gift for everybody on the planet. We are fortunate enough that everybody's healthy. Everybody in my extended family is healthy. And I'm super grateful. It's not a gift for everybody. It's horrible for a lot of people. Yeah. But we can only live in this moment, I feel like. In this moment, we're healthy and we're grateful. And that's where you have to be. And just pray that other people can find some comfort if they have, if someone in their family that's been taken by this. It's hard to find comfort. Now, I don't know if there is a way, but I hate that anybody suffers through this time,
And just to lose someone because there's, as much as we sit there and talk about our kids having no closure of middle school and no getting to say goodbye, that so Darren's on the board at our temple, and they have to take turns writing letters to if someone had a baby or got married, or lost a loved one from the board, and he's on for the next 2 weeks. And so we get the notifications, and I can't tell you, I know we hear the numbers, but it's not necessarily people who we know, and just how many of that temple down the street from us have lost parents. Countless. I mean, we keep getting notifications, and and a few of them I know it's kids who one of my kids went to nursery school with a few, and they lost their parent, and I can't even imagine because they didn't get to be with them, and you don't get to have even like the funeral of closure. I did have a good friend who lost his grandmother, and he posted the picture just because it was so touching, and I was so happy he did. But he's like, here I am in my car, with family members in front of me in their cars and behind me, but they're all alone in their cars, people on Zoom, and he's like, if you see the guys in the distance in the yellow jackets, they're burying my grandma.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Terrible. So then the instant perspective comes in, and you're just like, we're good. Yeah. We're really good.
So bad.
And so then I feel like to not appreciate the gift of time and the gift that we've been given is I'm not saying I'm happy about it because I feel terrible that people are losing people, but I'm not, then I'm going to make the best of what their loss is, we're going to.
Yeah. But it's probably, it's a disrespect to not.
Right.
Yeah. Take it for granted would be very disrespectful of someone who's lost someone who's dear to them in this time, just because we're lucky enough to not be sick.
Right.
It really is luck. I think a lot of it is you're just lucky enough not to be sick, lucky enough to have the antibodies or not have, become exposed. And it's just pure luck, a lot of it. So to take that for granted is really bad, I think. Mm-hmm. To just be laissez-faire about it is not okay, because so many people have lost so many people.
Yeah.
And the only, not good thing, but the only thing is, I guess, if you've lost someone during this time and had that funeral experience you're talking about, you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
So at least you will have other people who can relate to your experience. I think relatability to an experience helps you heal. So for people who've lost somebody and have had to go through this kind of isolated grieving process, so has everyone else that's done this. And that's, not that we wanted anybody to do it, but at least you're not the only person.
Right. It's a shared experience, yes.
It's a shared experience, which makes it hopefully a little less painful. I don't know. Anyway. I have a list of some things I was going to talk about, but I feel weird segueing into those things after that big, heavy conversation.
Right, because we should not end on a heavy conversation.
Right. Segue away.
So is there anything that you've been ordering online that you didn't order online before? Like I today ordered deodorant on Amazon.
Oh yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bug spray, because I feel like the bugs are crazy, and of course I'm sitting outside a lot more than I was before. Deodorant, paper towels, toilet paper, all that stuff we're ordering online.
Oh, yeah, you ordered practical shit.
Yeah.
I ordered.
But then what about the fun stuff? Yeah.
Underwear?
Oh, yeah. I went online and I was like, okay, let me see what kind of sales are happening on my favorite underwear.
Oh, but it was underwear you had a point of reference for. Like you knew, like, okay.
What's your favorite underwear, Sam?
Hanky Pankies.
Oh.
And they're ridiculously, like, I only buy them like every 5 years because they cost so much for a pair of underwear. But I was shopping. I was like, I can't sleep. I'm going to go online and look because I could use some new thongs. And that's a lot of information. But I'm not going to order deodorant. I'm going to see what the fuck is on sale for like my underwear. I need to replace.
If you're just walking around in underwear, you don't need deodorant.
Exactly. I mean, everybody, Mimi's over here. She walks around and that girl's going to have a hell of a time going back to school because she's in her underwear all day long. She's going to be 9 next week. Like clothes in the time of coronavirus.
Okay. Isla too. The only thing that gives me comfort about Isla's wardrobe, when I'm folding laundry, I fold like 6 pairs of panties, 1 set of clothes. So she's changing her underwear and putting the dirty clothes back on. So I'm like, at least she's changing her pants. Georgia is the opposite. I'm washing clothes, no underwear.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, interesting. It's interesting. Okay, but
maybe she's just not wearing underwear.
that could be.
I've been doing a lot of those Good Morning America deals and steals.
What is that?
Yeah, and I've bought so much dumb crap off it. But like I'm helping a small company, right? All right. So every day, GMA profiles some small business, who needs help, and they do like 50 or 60 or 70% off it. And you can go to their webpage and they'll show you who they featured.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I actually did say, now that you say underwear, that's what made me think about it, is there was a small company based in Boston that was like really cute underwear and camis. And they did a deals and steals because literally like they were days away from shutting down.
Wow.
And because it's not even just that their stores closed. These people are sending to like a gazillion other retailers, and if everyone stops buying, you're done. But they sold out of their entire, everything that they had. It's called Uwilla Warrior.
Right.
And so like, hang on. So they'll bring their stuff back, like, but it's like these cute little things.
Cute.
Oh, yeah.
I know. So it's sadly, these are like for my daughter though. I didn't even buy them for me. Aren't they cute?
Yeah.
And then they even have like little matching camis that go with them. So I got like for pajamas and stuff too during summer. That was really cute. And then I bought these paper lanterns that you put little votives in them and fill them with water, and you put them around outside. I don't know. I bought, and then I don't have it, but all right. So this is the other thing, the social distance drinking, because I feel like even if restaurants reopen, like say they do, and that they separate the tables, I'm not going to want to go out to a restaurant. And I actually have to say, don't miss going out to restaurants. I don't mind eating in, whether we're ordering or cooking. And I do like sitting outside with my friends. And so I don't mind continuing to do all that. It's a lot. I'm saving a lot of money too. But my friend Meg and I have made these social distance drinking kits. So I have my wagon. So if I leave my house, but like Crate and Barrel sells a table and a bag. And it rolls up.
I have it.
And,
I love it.
And then you have your little camp chairs or your beach chairs. And then I got these Yeti wine cups, or there's these mugs that look like, what are the drinks that the guys drink with the ginger beer in them? And
Moscow Mule?
Moscow Mule. So it looks like that. So they offered a free personalization. And this purchase all started because my sister has been primarily caring for my mom, and I feel really guilty about that. And so I bought one of the Yeti wine glasses for my sister, and it just says Meg's Wine engraved. So I was like, oh, she'll love that. So then I had to have one. And then I bought one for my husband. And then we had two friends whose birthdays were coming up. So I bought them each one. So now we all have these Yeti. That's our travel drinking glass. And so that's like, you have to like get your whole kit together, so that like now we went over to the Hearts on your street to drink in their front yard one night. And I rolled up with my wagon, and we started unloading our table and our chairs. And I'd gotten sushi, and I put all these
oh my God.
Get out my Yeti glass. And Teresa and Larry were like, what is going on?
Have gun will travel, right?
Exactly. Like, listen, I am 10 feet away from these people. I'm not touching any of their stuff.
I brought my own stuff.
I'm in my own chairs. I have my own stuff. I don't use their bathroom. The thing is, you have to go close enough to home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that you can go home to go potty.
In the bathroom.
Or just only stay.
You can bring Clorox wipes with you. Wipe.
That's true. And believe me, my friend Meg has had to do that in our house. She literally puts her mask on, gloves, and brings Clorox in.
Yeah.
She walked in the front door, and my kids were like, what is going on? She had like these huge gloves and mask, and they were like, why is she doing that? I'm like, oh.
It's a new day.
Be careful.
It's a new day. We'll have to check that out. Good morning.
Yeah, so you need to make your little travel kits.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
So that you can still be social as they start to relax things. I don't know when I'll be comfortable eating in a restaurant again, and I don't miss it, so I don't really care. But I don't need to do that. I can still support a restaurant by ordering from them, but I'm not going to go. I don't know when I'll go eat in a restaurant again, but it's not until this is all long done.
Right.
Or go to the mall or any of that.
We bought this one thing. Actually, Bert has a sponsor that sent us this photo frame. It's called a Skylight. And it's a digital photo frame, but you can email pictures to it. So I bought one for my in-laws and bought one for my dad because I thought, and it just scrolls like it does a slideshow all day long. And ours is in our kitchen. And we watch all of our friends and whoever we've put on there. And it makes us feel connected. So I sent it to, like I said, grandparents, and they love it so much. They keep saying, this has made this so much easier because I'm cooking dinner and I'm seeing my grandkids just flip through my kitchen. So that it seems like they're right here with me.
You can update it like every day.
You can update it whenever you want. You can put as many pictures on it as you like. That's and it amazing. Stores the pictures in a cloud. So you don't lose the picture. If something happens to the frame, if the frame for whatever reason goes kaput, you just log a new frame into your account and it's
Will you email me the link to that? Because I'll get that from my mom too. I sent my mom for Mother's Day because, and this would have been a better gift. But too late now. I sent her she loves Maryland blue crab, and they're in DC, but it's not like she's getting out these days. So from like one of the famous Maryland crab places along the water, and it was, it's a restaurant that's suffering obviously because they're not open. Yeah. I sent her this huge kit that has crab cakes, blue crab bisque.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
It's coming on Saturday. She's going to be like, oh my God.
Well, I did that too for my dad. What, say it again?
She can freeze a lot, like whatever,
Yeah. And she's by herself, so she probably need to.
Yeah.
I sent my dad Omaha steaks on the reg.
That's a good one.
And they have more than just steak. They have tons of seafood. They have chicken. They have pork. They have lamb.
A lot of people are ordering that now. I see those deliveries a lot now.
Yeah, it's not a bad.
Well do we all know the delivery people in our neighborhood now?
Oh, a little better than I'd like to admit.
I know, it's so sad.
A little better. Let's see, what else have I been ordering? Yeah, deodorant. Deodorant was the big one. You reading a lot? Anybody reading a lot?
No, I'm watching a lot of TV shows and like webinar things. Boring and fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not reading.
I'm watching like a lot of cooking stuff.
Oh yeah?
I think because I'm cooking a lot. Yeah. I love What's Gabby Cooking. She just came out with a new cookbook, and she does a podcast, and she's on Instagram and goes live every day at dinner time. So you can like cook your dinner with her.
No way.
And she moved to.
No way.
I know. I'm kind of stalking her. Because I walk the dogs every day. I can't believe I'm admitting this because my kids have so made fun of me. So I walk the dogs every day separately. So I'm out a lot. And she has, in one of her Instagram pictures, she kind of has the house behind her, like a little bit. And so I'm like determined to find her house. Because I know she moved. I'm like, it's not that big. I can find this house. And so I just keep walking around because I'm obsessed with What's Gabby Cooking.
How funny.
I'm obsessed with her.
I gotta write this down too.
So that cookbook is I can't tell you how, that chicken schnitzel was her recipe. I love that cookbook. So I'm doing a lot from that cookbook.
Okay. I'm going to check that out.
Yes.
A cookbook and a podcast.
Yeah. Let's have her on.
Okay. I to her. I love that. I don't know if she would be on my podcast, my little modest podcast. I'm not really reading either. I'm reading Little Fires Everywhere, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
I homeschool a lot. I know your kids are much more independent learners. My kid needs a lot of, as her IEP teacher says, your kid needs a lot of scaffolding. Okay. So I have to help her, like when her history teacher assigns, not kidding, 25 pages of reading in her textbook, that would take her 2 days. So I'm like, guess who's reading?
They wouldn't even be doing that shit if they were going to school every day.
No.
Bullshit.
They wouldn't. So in this arena, I'm doing a lot of teaching because of how Isla learns. Isla doesn't learn by reading in a textbook. I mean, especially history.
Yeah.
You have to be a really special person to be interested in history in a textbook.
Are you know? Is that textbook on audio?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's the one that my two of my nephews are in college, and it's a bummer to be in college and be missing out on that too, because one of them was a freshman, but he's somewhat similar to Isla and has some trouble, learning. He's at James Madison University, and So he's better in person in the classroom. He's much more engaged. If you're going to sit there and just tell him to like read a book and stuff, he's out. And so my sister actually put all of his books on audio, bought them all on audio, because he can sit there and listen to it, but he can't sit there and read it.
Yeah, she's the same. If it were on audio, she could listen to it, but it's not available. So I think at a college level.
But our 30-year-old LAUSD books are not.
Right? Yeah, so yesterday, I was like, oh my God, I guess I'm reading 25 pages about George Washington's term in office and John Adams' term in office. It took me 45 minutes to read and explain what I was reading, because some of it would be like excerpts from Alexander Hamilton's speech. Are you kidding me? That speech was written in like 1780. And it reads like 1780. And I'm like, wait, I didn't actually understand that speech. Let me read it one more time. And then I'm going to tell you what he said. I mean, I'm like, how in the world? And then today she took a test in history, and part of her IEP is she gets her test read to her. So in the classroom, if she didn't understand a question on her test, her teacher can read the question to her, because when it's read to her, she understands it better. So I read the test to her, and I kept going, hold on, let me read that one more time. The teacher had like excerpts from these speeches that he would then ask critical thinking, interpretive questions from the expert that was just read. And I was like, if my kid can't read that expert and process it, excerpt, how's she going to do that on this test? It's just been really hard. I feel really bad because I think it's actually making Isla feel bad, because she needs her mommy to help her do her classwork. And when I explain it to her, she's got it. Like, she's got it. She missed 2 questions on her history test. But that's awesome. So she's doing great. And all I'm doing is reading, and I'm not answering any questions. I just read it and she answers the question. But I think it's making her feel bad, because at 13, she shouldn't need her mommy's help. But I needed help reading 25 pages about George Washington and John Adams. I needed a drink when it was over. I mean, I was like, seriously? Sure.
No shit.
Oh.
So how's everybody's fitness? Everybody working out, walking, lifting weights?
Ton of walking. And I bought, this is another purchase off Amazon, one of those ellipticals.
You bought an elliptical?
It's not a full elliptical. It's like, I'll send you the picture. I love it so much. And it was our book club, someone brought it up, and literally there were like 10 people on our book club, and every single person bought it. It's like, it wouldn't fit under a sofa or a bed, but it's just like the feet part.
Oh, I've seen those.
I love it so much. So like, if I'm watching an hour of Little Fires Everywhere, I do it the whole time.
Awesome.
And it's just like, or like I'll watch Chopped. Like, I like to watch an hour show that has a beginning and an end, and I'll just do it the whole time, and I love it. And my kids are using it. I mean, my son does it. He watches. He says that he's learned more Spanish by binge watching Narcos during this home time than he has from remote learning Spanish class. But he watches Narcos and does it every day, because he's only on season 2 there, so he's catching up on that one. But yeah, so that was another Amazon stuff. Shit just keeps appearing.
Showing up, doesn't it? Yep. What about you, Sam? You working out a lot?
I'm teaching like 5 times a week.
Oh my gosh.
And what do you teach?
I'm teaching S Factor at home.
Uh-huh.
So, with no pole. So I'm just teaching the beginning, the basic warm up. And then I've been doing yoga, which has been really awesome. And my girlfriend, one of my besties, has an insane, amazing studio in Shaker Heights. And they are in Cleveland, and they're doing digital classes. And so I pop into her class, which is like amazing to support her company, her small business. It's called Groove Ride. And so it's nice because I've wanted to do yoga again, and I haven't done it in years. And I'm like, oh, I just need 2 minutes to get on the Zoom, and then I can do it. And then I do it for an hour, and then I'm done. And that I can fit in the hour in my day.
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, I heard Gold's Gym declared bankruptcy, and so many people have found home fitness routines, whatever is working for them. There's like a lot of options. Obviously, we have friends who follow this girl who does this boxing on Instagram, and she goes live and they do her classes with her. And our friend Indira is like a dancing machine and does dancing classes all day long. So I think people are like will people ever go back to the gyms? Like now they've kind of figured out a new way of doing it, which is faster and easier than having to get in your car and drive somewhere.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, I've been working out with a trainer since December. And when this started, we took a couple weeks off and then we started Zooming with the trainer. I work out with Sandy and Sandy's friend Kat. The three of us share an hour with this trainer. And we're doing it from home. And I have to tell you, the sessions at home are harder because I think he doesn't have his equipment. So he has to be really creative with your body weight, right? So we're using chairs and towels and throw pillows and all kinds of stuff to create resistance. And it's been really hard. I'm shocked. This guy is such a good trainer to be able to pivot like that, because when we were working out with him in his gym, we were using bands and small weights, and he had an elliptical, and he had this huge contraption that had, bench press and all this shit on it. And I don't even know what it was. And now we're just using our body weight. It's just been really interesting to see what he comes up with. And every single session is completely different. I have not repeated a session. And we do it 3 days a week. So yeah. And he's like a half hour from here. So I keep thinking, I could go see him 1 day a week and do 2 days a week in the Zoom and be totally fine and save myself an hour of driving because he's one way. And I definitely am seeing the results. I'm actually seeing my abs for the first time. Yeah! The other day got out of the shower and went, oh my God, that's an ab. That's like an actual ab. And so I started going like this to make it move. And I was like, oh my God. So today, when we were finished, Sandy raised her shirt and showed her abs. She has the same ones. And I was like, I have those too. I have this right here. I have the same ab. And Mikhail, our trainer, was laughing. He was like, yeah, they're always been in there. You just haven't worked out. I'm so glad I've been able to continue it. That's one of those things I felt like I had gotten on a trajectory for it to stop,
I'm hoping that continues after quarantine, that people continue to do this because it is so great. If I look at I'm trying to find schedules of different studios because this is a perfect time to support like small business and single people who do this. And so it's fantastic that it's like there's a 1 o'clock class. Great. Because I can't go to the fucking gym at 8 a.m. Like I can't do an extra, so it's so awesome that I can do it on a schedule that works for me. And then it's not cutting out of my day. It's so great. I hope it stays.
I do too. That small business piece, I think, is something that this whole issue has hopefully brought back to people's
I hope so.
Perspective. When this happened, there's a fishmonger on Ventura called The Joint, and they sell fish, and they have a coffee shop and restaurant adjacent to their fish. It's just a straight up fishmonger. And we used to go there all the time and buy fish. And then we got lazy. And because we live across the street from a place where you can buy great fish, but it's a big grocery store. So when this happened, Bert said, I can't, that guy, I don't want him to go out of business. So let's start buying our fish from him, even though it's more trouble for us. Let's start doing that. So we called him and he was like, actually during this time, I'm offering a lot more than fish. I'm offering some fresh produce and some fresh baked breads and coffees, and I'll deliver it to your home. And we've been buying a lot of groceries from him. It's called The Joint on Ventura. And
where in Ventura is it?
It's Ventura and Woodman, and they will deliver to your home. Okay. It's free delivery. You just have to buy one protein item. If you buy one item of protein, you can put anything else on that order and they'll deliver it. And they email you their provision list. every morning, and you just email them back and say, I want sea bass and salmon and, turkey sausages and spinach and this and that and this and that. And everything we've gotten from them has been superior quality. And we just keep thinking we need to think more like that on a day-to-day basis, to support the small business.
Yeah.
Instead of Amazon and the big grocery stores. Not that you don't want those people around. You do, but I feel like they have plenty of business.
Yes, they do.
And
yes, I had to buy a birthday gift for our neighbor's son across the street. And my instinct was just to print him out an Amazon gift card. And I was like, no, fuck them. Like, they're at my house every day. I don't need to give them any more money. And he's a big surfer skateboarder kid. And so I went on to Rip and Dip, which I was like, they're probably hurting. They're not getting any orders from any skate shops or anything. So I ordered him a bunch of stuff off that website. And I've since then have gotten like 3 emails from the CEO saying, thank you for supporting our small business.
Yeah.
And like offering you additional discounts to order more and stuff. But like, I was like, wow, like they really need help. Those small companies really need the business.
It's absolutely right. It's crazy this time. Hopefully God is giving us the opportunity to think about things a little bit differently. Just to shift our perspective just a little bit, help everybody out, not just make it all about convenience,
right?
All about me,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
more about everybody else. Speaking of that, I'm wearing these flip-flops. These are free water flip-flops.
Oh my God.
I love them so much.
They're so cute.
And I just happened to be talking about them. I put them on and Bert was Instagramming me saying, these are the most comfortable, like rubber flip-flops. They're the most comfortable rubber flip-flops ever. They have like an arch support and they're super squishy and they're really comfortable and they're cute. And I guess they got surged with orders just from me saying that on his Instagram. Aww. And I really do like these flip-flops.
Yeah.
And they're not a huge company. I don't even think they're a public company. I think they're a private company. And they're awesome. So you should check out freewaters.com. Buy some flip-flops because it's about to be summer.
Yeah, that's good to know because I stopped wearing flip-flops because of the arch support. So I will have to go.
These have, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the arch support?
Yes.
It's awesome.
Havaianas are just flat and that's what I always used to wear. And
yeah, they're awesome. And they have, I got some with Joshua trees on them on the inside.
Oh,
they're
cute.
cool.
That's awesome.
You don't see that. Hers are gray here, or mine are like coppery.
Yeah,
but they're awesome. And you think, well, I'm sure they're fine, but one would hope that we don't lose.
You never know though, because typically those type of companies are getting orders from stores like Bell Surf and stuff. Consistently restocking orders. Those aren't happening because all those stores are closed.
Yeah, totally.
And they probably have a lot of people who haven't paid them for shipments that they ordered. So the only stuff orders that they're getting is if an independent person places that order. And then that's one pair of flip-flops versus them selling, 200 to a store.
Totally.
So yeah, they're probably hurting.
That's crazy.
I know.
Well, how do we wrap this up, ladies?
Oh, I don't know.
Any well wishes? Any last thoughts?
No.
One more drink for the road? Anything?
Continued help.
I know. Do we have to go? Is it really time?
We don't have to go. I have a question. I actually just thought of another question.
Yeah.
Did you guys have plans for the summer you're now not going to do? Besides your 50th birthday, Jeannie?
I don't know. We have a trip planned to visit my family in DC first week of August.
So you may be able to do that.
Don't know. And we were supposed to go to Rehoboth Beach when we were back there, but I don't know. I don't know if it's happening.
Yeah. We were supposed to go to Tampa in June, but I don't think we're going in June. George's 16th birthday is June 7th.
Oh,
I don't know what we're going to do for that. Big sweet 16.
Oh,
I don't know.
He's the day before me. She and I can have some fun together.
Totally. Maybe we could do a 2-block parade.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Loop the block for each of you.
Yes.
Blow horns. Be really obnoxious.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No plans.
No, no plans for the summer. I was anticipating that I was going to be working my fucking ass off 60 hours a week. And I am working my ass off, but it's just very different than what I had anticipated. My girlfriend's trying to get us to drive to Wisconsin because she has an empty house. I told you. She's like, it's empty, and there's acres and there's woods around it, and just get in the car and drive. You guys can you won't even have to see each other because it's so big, and you don't have to hear each other because there's like a room downstairs, and the ceiling is concrete, so you can't hear anything up or down. So the kids are pushing me to do that.
Is she not even there? It's just an empty house?
It's just an empty house that's on the market.
Wowza.
I know. So, but then I was like, well, we should go drive and see the Smiths. Not that we could, but I was like, oh, well, let's just go to North Carolina or South Carolina. Like, let's just go see them. But,
oh, that'd be fun.
It would be fun. No plans. Just, to try and keep them sane. Hopefully we'll be able to get out of the house a little bit.
Hopefully. Thank God we have a pool.
Yeah.
I'm happy we have a pool. Is there a pool at your apartment complex?
There is, but it has a lock on it right now. Yeah. So, I mean, if in all honesty, if we stay closed down for the summer, then I will go to put my kids in the car to do the 28-hour drive to Wisconsin to an empty house, because what else are we going to do?
Right. What else are you going to do?
Like, might as well. We'll stop in, some places on the way, and but I don't know plans as of right now.
No. I had a dream last night that I was at my dad's lake house. We were, Georgia was water skiing. We were all in the boat. We were getting out of the boat, and we were leaving that day. And I kept saying, I don't understand why we can only stay for one day. Why are we only here for one day? Why can't we stay longer? And I was asking like the world. I wasn't asking a person. I was just saying, I don't understand why we can only have one day. So I hope that's not a premonition that I'm not going to get to go this year with my kids. They love it so much. And when you're 14, you can drive a wave runner by yourself. And Isla is 14 this year. And if you don't think that child's been counting down the days,
no kidding,
you would be incorrect since last summer. Can't wait till next year. Can't wait till next year. And then she found out this year, I said, no, we'll see. Maybe we can go like last week in July, first week in August. We'll see. That's another one where we're thinking we may have to drive there.
Yeah. I feel like it's a great time to get creative. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, get creative with the kids. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And if I am not going to be back to work, all my work is virtual right now.
Yeah.
Then I can do that from anywhere. So mine as well. Figure it out.
Might as well.
I know.
Bert's podcasting on Zoom for everything, so he could do that from anywhere.
Right.
Clearly I am as well. However, my podcast doesn't pay any bills. His does, one or two. But mine just fulfills my heart.
Yeah.
Good. It's good to be on again.
I know. It is good to see you guys. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. It's been nice that I've gotten to see you in person the 2 times when we've had to drop something off to you or pick something up, and for the girls to be able to see each other. That was heartbreaking. That was a heartbreaking experience.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing each other every day on FaceTime. Yeah. They're seeing each other more now, I feel like, than they did before. But to witness them that first time that we saw you, I told you I nearly started to cry, because you could just see like how much it affected them. And they're like, it's not the same. Like, even though we're seeing each other every day, it's not the same as being in person with them.
No, it's not. And those 3 young ladies over the past 6 months have gotten very close.
Yeah.
They're always sleeping over. They're always wanting to be together. And I think it has been really hard.
Yeah.
It's been really hard.
Hopefully some of this can relax. Maybe not just like the general public, but like the immediate friends thing.
Yeah. Hope so. We'll see. Well, what else, ladies? Anything else we need to talk about?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on to chat.
It was fun. It was good to see you guys.
It was good to see you guys.
Yeah.
I hope it was entertaining for everybody who watched. I just wanted to share my friends with the world. So I have great friends. I do have like 8 or 10 amazing, great friends. Now, people listening are going to go, am I the 11th?
Where do I land on here? I have not been on the podcast.
Am I top 5 or top 6?
Yeah. Right? Am I number 11? Oh, man, bummer. No, I have a ton of great friends. And I think everybody should experience such great people. You guys are great people.
Aww.
And I love you very much. And
Love you too.
You're well. I'm glad you're well. So if not seeing you guys, what's that?
Can't wait to give you a hug.
Same here. So if it means we have to stay apart to be well, oh well.
Well.
Oh well.
We're surviving. We've survived. It's been 2 months, right? We can do it.
I can
do
another week and then I'm done.
My kids are only still alive. Bill is only still alive because I can leave the house a few days a week. Let's see about that situation.
There you go. I am shocked Bert and I haven't argued. I'm really shocked. We have not had any disagreements to speak of. And I am kind of scratching my head about it because in theory, we should be arguing. I don't know. I guess perspective is so important because my perspective is I am just so grateful no one is ill.
Yeah.
So grateful that am I really going to get pissed because you told me you were taking the garbage out in 15 minutes and you didn't? No, I'll
leave that to Jeannie Turbo.
No, you're justified in yours for sure. But I don't know. I thought this was going to be rougher.
Yeah,
I did too.
You did?
I think it was very much the unknown. I thought it was going to be rougher too. It was very much the unknown. It seemed, even though obviously this has been brewing a long time coming, it wasn't like a total shock that this happened. It still seemed to catch us by surprise. And so it seemed scary when it all first started happening, panicky, but how fast not only we adapted, but like grocery stores adapted and doctor's offices adapted and like everybody, there were immediately things in place, which I find so amazing how, the shields up at the grocery store so fast, the tape lines, I'm explaining, this is how it's going to happen. It's like, you would think they've been planning for this for years.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Amazing.
It was impressive. I agree.
Yeah.
The only thing that's worse for me is that my floors are just a lot dirtier. There's 4 sets of feet on those things all day, every day. And I feel like I'm mopping my floor every 2 days. It's awful. That's my one complaint.
And all these cats and all this hair. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I vacuumed my whole house and 2 days later, it looked like I'd never touched it.
Yeah.
There's just dog hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. 200+ pound dogs might not have been a good plan. That's a lot of hair to shed.
I kept thinking one of them was going to pass. And she's not going anywhere.
She is not going anywhere. She's finally gotten a few little gray hairs right here.
Oh.
But other than that, she is playing like a puppy. It's amazing.
Brought her back to life.
Yes, the puppy did what the puppy was supposed to do. But now I have 200+ pound dogs shedding in my house every day.
And now you're home all day to see it. So the thing is, they were always shedding. It's just that you were home less time. So you didn't have a lot of time to spend on it.
You know what I think it is actually? I was home less, so they were more sedentary.
Oh, right.
They just stayed on the couch.
Yeah.
So the shedding all took place like on the couch.
Right.
So now, if I am in motion, that puppy is behind me. Is she here? No, she was here earlier on the couch.
Yeah.
But she's my shadow. So there's just hair everywhere. Not to mention 2 teenagers.
Yeah.
And a third teenager who's actually 47 who are cooking. All 3 of them are cooking regularly. And it's just my kitchen floor is just constantly sticky. It's just always sticky. I'm mopping that thing all day. Oh, the cat's here.
Yeah, I see. Did she bring you a rat or anything?
Not lately.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Not lately.
Oh, good.
I don't know if the rat smelled 2 dogs and went, okay. I'm done here. I'm not coming back. Okay. 1, I could think, okay, but 2, I can't do 2. 2 of these things? No.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
You.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Until next time.
Until the next time.